Greetings and welcome to the Mount Rushmore podcast. My name, Jeff. Joined always as by good friend Richard.
Hello.
And Michael.
Howdy.
Richard, Michael. Locked. Discussion. Deliberation. Most important things of topic. This week, topic. We didn't start the fire. Michael, you chose this and last week's. How are they connected?
I love your staccato reading.
It sounded kind of Hulk a little bit.
Hulk. kind of Tonto from the Lone Ranger serial.
Well, when I
reclaiming my time from those
that's
transitive words between the mean.
When I thought of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine, and I threw it on our little Facebook group saying, hey, we should do this, I think in a post or in a comment literally like a second later, I was like, oh, we should also
right.
We should also do another kind of list song, and we didn't start the fire. And it seemed like one of those that where It's the End of the World as We Know It kind of, you know, had a few references sprinkled in. It's not as much of a list song, that song, as much as it has a list of kind of words and feelings and things that happen. This is like a run through of 50 years of 20th century history. That this is this big recap by Billy Joel of kind of like of the life that he's lived up until that point in 1988, 89.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this I thought was it's kind of a whatever song, kind of a boring song, kind of whatever, but it's a very iconic song in spite of that. And maybe that's because of the music video. Maybe that's because of just the nature of the song, where it's people love lists. I mean, no matter where you go, they love a list of.
And that's all we're doing from here on out. Just
lists.
We're just doing a podcast about songs that are lists.
Mm-hmm.
So next week's going to be a whole episode on 88 lines about 44 women.
Okay.
Week after that's going to be people who died. We'll do I've Been Everywhere by Hank Snow, and we'll just keep kind of going from there.
Those first two that you mentioned, 88 lines about 44 women and
people
who died, those were such mainstays on K-Rock.
Oh, sure.
All the time.
And on the first wave station on Sirius.
Yeah. Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Okay.
Bigly.
Michael, you chose it. Richard, you start.
All right, so I'm starting with the ghostly apparition of Billy Joel. Because I was watching the music video.
Was this which Star Wars was this?
I believe this is he was in episode 2.
He was retconned into, because I know in the film theatrical release he wasn't there, but then they added.
Oh, is that one of those things that
a Force ghost?
Well, the thing about Billy Joel is everyone liked when he was like a puppet, like the spitting image puppet of him. Yeah. But then
when he's digital.
But then the digital version of him is just so weird.
Yeah,
so if you're not familiar with the music video or haven't seen it in a while, the whole concept is Billy Joel in a kitchen as this family kind of goes through their lives from, I guess, the 50s through the late 80s, early 90s.
I'll just throw this in there. The music video is one of my choices as well.
Okay.
So I think that this is all kind of we'll kind of getting through a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, so this is very specific though, and Billy Joel is like this, almost like this little the narrator in Our Town or something. He's sitting there like watching as the family is going through all the decades, and like the kids grow up and become like one's a draft dodger, the other's burning her bra, and all this. They go into the 80s. There's all this stuff that happens to this family. And there's Billy Joel in that kitchen just standing there. Get out of my kitchen, Billy Joel. Literally, he is up in my kitchen. I don't want him here. I mean, what happened? Did he die?
He drove his car through the wall.
Yeah. Did he die?
The living room.
And he can't leave? He's like died in the kitchen like in the 40s?
I think the most interesting thing about this music video is I thought the same thing watching it, that it was the same family. But the wives change throughout. It's not the same woman playing the same.
It's not? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you look this up?
Uh-huh. There's a bunch of different women that are in this.
Did you look this up on the internet?
Well,
the authority of
an actress named Melody Knighton played the very first wife.
The Lucy-looking
wife. She actually went on to a career as playing I Love Lucy.
A Lucy impersonator.
A Lucy impersonator and Dolly Parton, different things. And if you look at pictures of her, it's spot on.
Sure.
But a bunch of other people are in the video, like Marlee Matlin plays a daughter in it. But other women, Lupe McDonald, Susan McNabb, Barbara Paoletta, and Frankie Thorne, they're like different versions. It's not just one family.
Oh,
Unless I'm totally
Different
wrong.
families.
But it's like different families experiencing different things throughout the
different white families.
50, yeah.
Okay.
Throughout like the 50s, 60s, 70s, and
Mhm.
whatever. By the time you get like, I remember thinking that too, because the first version of it, the first wife in it is the Lucille Ball looking
Right.
woman. And it's like, oh my God, this is I Love Lucy. This is his memories of growing up was his
Yeah.
mom looked like I Love Lucy, or his first memories are of I Love Lucy as his parents or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you start going through and it's like a different person is the wife. And it goes on and on and on until the most grim version of the 1980s that I've ever seen. It's like something out of
It's
a
like
Christmas Vacation, The Next Door Neighbors in Christmas Vacation, or something out of Beetlejuice. There's this weird ultra rich person 1980s that existed that I have no concept of. Like we were certainly not wealthy. We were certainly not even middle class. But like whatever image of that did exist, they're like it's so grim and foreboding and angular and concrete. But it's interesting that like this grim apparition of Billy Joel, he's not just in one house that like he remembered. He's like going around to everyone's homes and he's
Right.
spying on everybody.
He could be in your house right
awful.
now, Jeff.
Yeah.
Did you think about that? Billy
is
Joel
this- he
could
seems-
be in your kitchen, and you would never know it.
I think if you say
Try to sleep after that.
piano man, 3 times, you summon him.
Don't do it. You just did it. Oh, no. Now we're going to have scenes from an Italian restaurant playing in the background of this whole podcast.
I was watching the video trying to. I
Is
had
it the
that
same
first,
dad?
It's weird because the dad stays the same for a lot of it. That's where it
So
could
does he like remarry or something? Do we
maybe he
think?
does because the children kill the children.
Killed or
Oh, I
Kill
think
the
I know
children.
what happened in this video.
The children keep changing and they're like at different ages at the wrong times.
Right.
Or like that you'd think like, oh, if this was the little boy that grew up in the 50s, he should have.
He should be like 30
But then he's
in the
yeah,
70s
it's
or
very-
something. Yeah.
it's-
Oh. Do you think Billy Joel was trying to be deep? Like I know that he had hits like Big Shot or Piano Man or New York State of Mind or that had about as much depth as Puddle. And is there's some stuff in that references culture, but then politics and international politics? You think Billy Joel had to kind of have his smart friend read from a newspaper to do the lyrics for this? This is the guy who drives his car through a house in Long Island on a regular basis.
Right. He does.
Yeah.
He frequently visits ponds with his car
Yeah,
after he's had
yeah.
a couple.
This is definitely like I'm gonna write down everything I know and see if I can fit it into a song. If I can fit the
It seems like he's
Well,
writing down
he,
stuff he doesn't know, too.
Apparently, and I read this on Genius.com when I was looking up the lyrics.
Is that a sarcastic
No,
website?
that's a website. Genius.com. Come on, Genius. God, why don't you go to Genius.com,
I read
idiot.
no shit, Sherlock.com.
Net.
It's net.
That's more of a .net.
All the search results have duh after them.
Apparently, he was having a conversation with a friend of Sean Lennon, who had just turned 21 and was going on about how, man, it's so crazy to be living in this era. It's like no one's ever had to deal with all the crazy stuff that we deal with. And Billy Joel got kind of offended by that, thinking that meant that, oh, well, my generation went through way more than your generation did. So he started just thinking about all the things he had seen in his generation. Yeah, I have some questions about this.
Okay, so is the video and the ghostly apparition the first choice for each of you guys?
well, his is the ghostly apparition. Mine is the music video.
Yeah,
kind of in
what else do you
general.
have about the music video? Anything?
No, it's what I did appreciate about the music video was that it's centered solely around the kitchen, and I think that is something that, as you grow in a family, becomes more and more the center place of your kind of world, the kitchen, dining room sort of thing. You come home from work and school, and the first thing you do is dinner, and that's where you kind of interact with your parents.
Yeah.
It's something that we're starting to get into with Felix, where like at first it was, he's just bottle fed and breastfed and whatever, and then slowly he's like, oh, he's sitting at the table now, and then we're just giving him like purees and food and stuff, and slowly it's transitioning to, oh, we should be eating our dinner around the table too, because he's got to have this interaction with us having food, and we're not just sitting in front of the TV.
Right.
So I think that our family is weirdly transitioning into this kitchen dining room thing, and I kind of appreciated that about the music video, that was centered entirely. I mean, aside from like the horrific images in front of like the burning.
It looks like the end of Scrooge.
That's
That's actually what
another good
I think of. Yeah,
another good one to talk about, like the yuppie '80s super rich a-hole version of society that I don't understand.
Don't get or understand.
But like, I thought that was really interesting in the video, that it kind of everything was built around that, these quote, kitchen table politics, and that maybe that comes back to what you said, Jeff, in terms of like, does he actually know all of this, or is it just stuff that you kind of hear words that are come out of your dad's mouth or mom's mouth?
If we're talking the music video, I think we should spend a moment talking about Billy Joel, the music video actor.
Yeah.
Because I find it interesting. He was someone who, you look at his early music videos, and they were just your typical late 70s, early 80s, him in a piano or him in the band, sort of just miming through the song. And at some point, he decided he could be an actor.
Yeah.
Or a music video actor. And his videos got very
Usually,
artsy. There's a lot of Russell Mulcahy, who is this guy who did like Highlander, the movie, but he did a lot of those like high concept music videos like in the early 80s.
like the Pressure music
Pressure
video.
and Allentown's another one where it's like this whole like our town sort of like play that's taking place. And at some point Billy Joel decided I should be acting in every video that I do.
Yeah.
So you've got, the Uptown Girl or Tell Her About It, or all these videos have him sort of playing a role, so to speak.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it got to the point where if you told me, oh yeah, Billy Joel had some acting gigs in the 80s, like one of those like musicians who took on acting roles, I would have said, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Never did. But so this is another one where he's not the focus of the video. He's not the focus in terms of an actor, but he's there doing his his thespian-y best.
Yeah, he does seem to play the separate. Who is this character in films? The separate kind of wraith that kind of goes through the thing. He's there, but not.
And I think in terms of the music video, I think a lot of times maybe the music videos are where he tried to add some depth to the songs, like you talked about the sort of.
Yeah.
I think maybe the music videos are where he tried to give it more import than maybe the songs particularly had.
Unlike the last episode's topic, this one seems to be framed by the end of World War II and the Cold War. So if we start with Harry Truman, and then it seems to go very much through
the
80s rock and roller Cola Wars. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So then, Richard, what would your second be?
All right, so my second choice, you mentioned it. It's the last line of the last verse. It's the phrase "rock and roller Cola Wars," and this is the thing that Billy Joel can't take any more of. Of all the things that are in the song, this is what he can't take any more of.
He's had his fill.
This is what makes him flip his little conference table on fire in disgust and go, I'm out of here.
That's funny. This is great. We're kind of like right in tune with this because my second choice, or one of my choices is there's two moments of anger amongst the sea of monotony.
Oh, okay.
And it's JFK blown away. What else do I have to say? And rock and roller Cola Wars. I can't take it anymore.
Right.
All of this, like this song is very drony. He's just kind of listing off things and singing thing, and then, the chorus and everything. But, like, there's only two moments of, like, him getting, like, impassioned, and it's the JFK, what's the rock and roller Wars.
Now, I have a theory about this, and before we get to it, if our younger listeners, they may not remember that in the 80s, there was such a thing as the Cola War, where Pepsi and Coca-Cola, particularly, were trying to one-up each other in terms of celebrity endorsements. Now, I don't remember, was it particularly rock and roll that was involved with this? I think it was just celebrities in general, whether it was the Bill Cosbys or the Cindy Crawfords or the what have. I know there were musicians who were involved, but were they really rock and roller Cola Wars, which is a terrible rhyme, by the way.
I wonder, was he referring to? For some reason, my mind jumped to Neil Young saying
this note for you.
Yeah.
I'm singing for Pepsi.
I remember a thing that I don't like about Pepsi or any advertising company that puts down another company's product in their ad. That feels very just like, man, just sell your own product. And I remember a commercial that I had on this old Star Wars tape, where it was centered around their.
This is the broadcast from CBS, right?
Yeah, it was the choice of a new generation was their slogan for a while, Pepsi, and the video had like these aliens coming down, because it was on a Star Wars TV broadcast, and then like beaming up the Coke soda machine,
right,
and then like spitting it out or something, and then taking the Pepsi one. Like, do you feel the need to insult your opponent because you're number 2 in the whatever?
Well,
does that make you? And I feel the same way about like Android commercials, like attacking Apple in the same way that Apple commercials attacked PCs. Like the weird attacking your main competitor in an ad to gain an advantage, to make them look foolish or dumb. I hate that more than anything.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the rock and roll, the Cola Wars all that much.
Right.
Just in general, but specifically, I remember that from these sets of commercials, and it's like, man.
Well, the whole thing started with Pepsi coming out with a commercial in the early '80s where they did like the blind taste test, and more people chose Pepsi. Even Coke drinkers chose Pepsi over Coke in a blind taste test. Then Coke came back, and I always found this really odd. Their response was they sort of did a blind taste test too, but it with
Stevie Wonder? Was it a fake
blind taste test? So we know he's not really blind, because they had like A and B or something, and they did their own taste test and basically showed that people couldn't tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi, which seems like a really weird like selling point. But you eventually got to this point where here are your big celebrities endorsers at the height of the cola wars. Pepsi had Michael Jackson, as we all know from lighting his hair on fire during the.
So he's the rock and roller.
He was the rock and roll. You know who Coke had as their rock and roller? Julio Iglesias.
Oh dear. Wow.
And Coke won.
Wow.
This is how weird the '80s were, guys.
Wow.
You could get Julio Iglesias with his like white V-neck sweater, looking like he's getting ready to go out there to play a cricket match or something.
Just goes
Heights
to show
of popularity.
Just goes to show it's not about the look, it's about the taste.
And so I have a theory about this, about why he was so angry. I think Mr. BJ, as his friends call him, I believe.
Yeah, they call him that in a song. Yeah.
Sure. I think he was just pissed that no one asked him to endorse their soda. Right? Because he was a pretty big star in the 80s. Nobody asked him. Maybe that's why he got so pissed off about it. Maybe he brought back these bad memories. Maybe
Billy Joel Coca-Cola.
Cola. Maybe maybe RC Cola should have thrown their hat into the mix and given a few bones to Billy Joel. Maybe we would have had
Diet Right.
We would have had a totally different cola landscape today if they just ponied up a little bit of the old clamolas for Mr. Billy Joel.
Instead, Billy said, "I'm just going to drink straight bourbon all the time
and drive my car into a kitchen."
Screw you, soda companies. Consider this war won.
I drink whiskey and Cokes. Hold the Coke.
Hold the Coke. Easy on the Coke. All right. Where does that leave us? Are we at our halftime? Where's halftime? Okay. Guys, thanks so much for listening. We would like you to do more than just listen. We'd like you to join the dialogue. We would like you to go to Facebook and look up the Mount Rushmore podcast page, and then go in and leave your idea for a topic we should debate on and argue about. And we'd love to hear what you think about previous podcasts. We'd also like you to go to iTunes or Stitcher and download, rate, and maybe even leave a review of some podcast episodes that exist in our library, our voluminous 100-plus episode library there. And we'd also like you to support other podcasts by going out into the Podverse and finding something new. Maybe you could listen to the one that this promo is about.
Need an escape? Vanish into the depths of a magic forest. Head out on an interstellar repair mission. Travel back in time to change the future. Explore inside someone or something else. Meet dragons, werewolves, birds, bears, aliens, mermen, and a man with a fishbowl for a head, all in 10 minutes or less every week. Tune in to 600 Second Saga for your weekly science fiction and fantasy escape.
And lastly, we want you to accept a nice gift from us. That's right, because you are a loyal listener, or maybe a first-time listener of the Mount Rushmore podcast, we are going to give you, through Audible, a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check them out. you could listen to Billy Joel, the definitive biography. It's unabridged, so you know there's no bridging. It's unabridged. Fred Schurers is the author, and Kirk Thornton is the narrator, not Billy Joel.
You know why it's unabridged?
What's that?
Because he'd drive his car off the bridge if there was one there.
Yay! Yay! Oh, I love that Christy Brinkley and Billy Joel have a kid, and the daughter, gets Billy Joel's looks. Have you seen the kid?
Oh, Alexa Ray
yeah,
Joel.
Yeah, just poor. She gotta think she lost the lottery.
I'd say that.
And she got her songwriting abilities. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, definitely. Okay, with Audible, you can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial by going to www.audibletrial.com/Rushmore. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Maybe they'll listen to Elton John autobiography read by himself and not some hack. Kirk Thornton. What if Kirk Thornton reads all the celebrity piano player? Captain Beefheart, Leon Russell,
W.C. Handy.
W.C. Handy, Victor Borga. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/Rushmore. And is back. And I guess it would be Richard.
Yeah, I guess it would be. My third choice is Syngman Rhee. This is the only person that I have on the actual list.
Yeah.
Syngman Rhee was the first and last head of the provisional government of Korea during the war, and then the basically dictator of South Korea from 48 until 1960. Now, I don't have anything really interesting about Syngman Rhee, and that's kind of the point. Billy Joel didn't have anything interesting about Syngman Rhee either. And that's such an obscure pull. And Jeff, you mentioned this a little while ago when you said, like, someone had to have been feeding Billy Joel some names, right?
I feel like he just tackled a high school debate club kid from that era, and his index card box fell open.
Right.
And he just picked some up at random.
Or I think what happened is that he needed rhymes.
Yeah.
So he needed something that rhymed with Kennedy and had the right meter.
Okay.
And went around, like, asking people, hey, was there anything in the 50s that rhymed with Kennedy?
Yeah.
That would kind of fit in? I need to be like this many syllables. And
Sure.
then somebody, at some point, one of Sean Lennon's friends, I don't know, came up with the, like, oh, yeah, who was that guy who was the Korean guy? Mm-hmm. No, not North Korea, the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that works. Okay.
No, not that one.
No, not that one. The other one.
West Korea.
West Korea. Northeast Korea. Because this happens multiple times during the song where there's somebody who is referenced that is such a deep cut, where if you're just going through and, as he claims, just started listing all these things that he remembered from 50s until then, there's no way like a Malenkoff or Liston beats Patterson. I mean, that's a boxing match. It was for the world title back in the 60s. Sure, it was, I guess, a fairly well-known fight, but it wasn't as well-known as, like, Cassius Clay beating Sonny Liston or something like that. And the only reason, I'm sure the only reason he used Liston beats Patterson because he needed something that rhymed with John Glenn.
Yeah.
Has to be the only reason. So the song is just filled with all of these, like, really broad, obvious references, like the JFK blown away.
Yeah.
And then all of these super random, like why is Chubby Checker in there?
Yeah.
You know, why is the Children of Thalidomide in there?
This is a great song for when, I'll tell you the exact moment when you need to listen to this song. You need to listen, if your company has paid for a lunch and you feel obligated to go get all of the different, whatever food, whatever your tray of various meats and salad and whatever. And they also kind of expect you to work. But you're not actually going back to your desk to work. And Lord knows you're not sitting with the horrendous people that you work with. But you're going back to your desk to kind of just eat your lunch quietly and kind of F around. This is the perfect song to listen to for 4 minutes and then to just pull up a website that has the list of everything that they talk about and just kind of for like half an hour. Just read about all this stuff. Just read about the history of the United States.
Maybe you do this
or
recently?
history of the world. Maybe. Listen, Cinco de Mayo.
You need more
was just the
hobbies,
other
sir.
day. But it's just one of those, it's like you're just reading through to like, do I know anything about this? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got the one paragraph, word or two about this. And then you're half an hour later and you're like, I guess gotta go back to work.
Yeah.
I remember when this song was really popular, they had a nationwide contest, and it was like it was some sort of like quiz where like high school or like junior high kids would get quizzed on all of the people who are in the song.
Is it K-Rock?
Yeah,
Is K-Rock doing all the quizzes just in town?
All they do. No, this was like in schools. And I can't remember if it was like I think it might have been something where like you didn't know who they were going to say and you had to like basically try to summarize that person in like 15 seconds or something like that. Yeah. Very like kind of National Geography-y sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like. It feels like little tiny
Feels a little
random,
bit like homework.
incredibly random homework assignments.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
Here he comes.
Well, this is not a log cabin. This
Oh.
is a
Wait,
fine establishment.
That's not Washington.
I hit my stovepipe hat on the
That's
door
Not
when I
narrowing it down
walked
for
in.
me. I'm not a good history student.
My beard is itchy.
Oh, I know this one.
Van Buren?
Yeah, it's Van
Got
Buren.
the chops, right?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. I've never been in a
Harry
establishment.
Truman.
My name's
Mr. Lincoln.
My
Mr.
name's
Lincoln.
Abraham
We
Lincoln.
held him on the cord for too long.
I
We're
mean,
sorry.
We were just pulling your
I'm
chain.
sure
there.
it killed you to
I've
hear us
looked off
not
into
know
the
who you
future,
were.
and I've seen that Daniel Day-Lewis do an impersonation that sounds kind of up here. I want you all to know. My voice is low and resonant. Like
I've seen the Hall of Presidents before. I know how you sound, sir.
Well, you gentlemen seem like decent fellows, God-fearing, decent fellows who are not married to a manic, depressant woman like I am, and lose yourself in your hobbies, which include hatchet throwing and songwriting.
Really,
Yes,
songwriting.
that's
I was
right.
not aware of that.
I'm trying to write. I'm working on some lyrics for a song that's kind of like a list of all the crazy things that have happened in my lifetime or thereabouts.
Sure.
And I think if you
Do
could
you have
help
any?
me.
Do you have
Fort
any
Sumter,
examples?
Just take
See.
that word.
Let me see. General Washington was okay. Let's see some other things.
I don't like
Here.
that this is just like shitting on other presidents.
Ben Franklin overrated. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other things like King of England, really dumb.
Do you have any rhymes for Ford Theater, Mr. Lincoln?
What? That sounds like a nice place. Maybe I could visit and see a play someday.
I think you will. Yes, you should work out some rhymes for that.
Okay.
What did you just do?
I have to set history right.
Well, I'm born in a log cabin. Log cabins are great. It's pursue the legal profession.
Not so easy, is it, Mr. President?
Mr.
Just to come up with rhymes.
Mr.
Well, I would think it was pretty easy.
Mr. Lincoln, have you thought about starting it with "I'm Abe Lincoln and I'm here to say"?
Oh, wait, let me sharpen my pencil. I'm Abe Lincoln, and I'm here to say I'm going to be president forever and a day.
Of the USA.
Of the USA. This is good stuff. It's like I'm speaking and singing, but I'm more speaking than singing.
It's a crazy concept,
This
sir.
is amazing. Oh, sorry. Mary Todd's been calling me back for a taffy pull. I gotta go.
Is that candy or something else, sir?
Yes. Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey,
It
where
was-
were you at, Jeff? You have getting a Fresca?
I was getting a Fresca in the fridge in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you get me one?
No, sorry.
Sure.
No.
yeah.
I got you this beer that tastes like pineapple seltzer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just what I love.
Okay, where the
It
where
was
the hell were we?
It was amazing that we're on our third pick,
Okay.
and it's amazing that both Sean Lennon and Abraham Lincoln have both tied into my third pick.
Oh, is that right?
And those are words that you do not often say.
No, they don't.
And my third choice is I love new versions of We Didn't Start the Fire with any of the crazy stuff that's happening in today's age.
Oh, yeah.
Over the last year, the political landscape of our world has been really effed up.
Yeah.
From the countless number of people that have been like fired out of like the Trump administration.
Yeah.
I love when someone clever on Twitter will run down a list and write it in this style where,
Oh, I've never seen this.
where it
Yeah.
rhymes. Go look for We Didn't Start
Okay.
the Fire on
Okay.
Twitter, and it's just like they'll say like they'll have like a list of names of people that have been fired, or
Yeah.
like it can be any sort of
Yeah.
situation. It can be deportations,
Yeah. Yeah.
anything that this song does. My point is, this song should be updated every year.
Yeah.
For all the crazy stuff that happens within a year.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, if you don't want to do it every year, do it every 10. Just someone get Billy Joel. I know he's not really. He's kind of just performing the old hits
If with,
still.
with any tart dies, Elton John will update the song "Candle in the Wind," and Billy
Yes.
Joel should do the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
He should like every decade. We do the census.
Sure, once a decade.
Once a decade, Billy Joel should be brought
Yeah.
out. Billy Joel, here's 500 different phrases. Just work them into
Yeah.
something over the last decade, and we'll put out a new single.
Yeah.
You can buy some new cars. You can perform it kind of or whatever, or don't. It doesn't matter.
Because do you think he actually remembers all the lyrics to this song now?
No.
Oh God. Yeah.
No.
What if he also
Maybe that's
updated?
last week we talked about Michael Stipe retiring. Maybe he just stopped remembering the lyrics to "It's the End of the World as We Know It," so he couldn't perform it anymore.
just thought, I
And he was
could.
like, "Man, even I don't know the lyrics, and I wrote it. I'm not performing it anymore."
forget it. Yeah. Okay.
I love
The
when
lists.
it's done those sorts of lists cleverly, and the fact that you brought up Sean Lennon saying, "Look at all this crazy stuff that's happening now."
Sean Lennon's friend, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said Sean Lennon.
Oh, it was Sean Lennon.
It's his buddy, yeah.
But it was his friend.
Sean Lennon's friend.
With unnamed friend.
Okay.
Unnamed friend of Sean Lennon.
Either way.
Still, doesn't matter.
Friend O Sean. I love that friend O Sean brought this up as like hallmarking the crazy stuff that's happening in Billy Joel's like hold my beer and let me recite the last 80 years, and then I love that you're Abraham Lincoln, or
What?
not you're Abraham Lincoln. I love that Abraham
was just
Lincoln,
here.
when he was just here, thank you, that he came in and tried to do his own version of it, like just dating back to like the Revolutionary War, and But I love that this is a song that is a template for anything else, because it is just a list song. As long as you get the meter right, as
Yeah.
long as you get the syllables right, as long as you get the rhyming right, you can write anything super fun.
It makes me wish Mambo number 5 was not just about the chicks that Lou Vega slept with, but like about the stuff that was happening. Yeah.
Did The Simpsons do a version of this?
Oh,
Yes,
there
they
you go.
did.
Oh, good.
Called "They'll Never Stop the Simpsons" at the end of one of their episodes back in 2002.
That's funny.
So
It wasn't the 138th episode spectacular, was
no, it
it?
was Gump Roast. I don't know which one that is. It's 2002. It's starting to get a little wonky by that point.
Richard, what was your last choice?
My last choice is the psycho strings when he says the word psycho near the end of the song.
Is that Bernard Herrmann?
Yeah, when he's doing the list and the list gets to the words, the song gets to psycho in the song, the Bernard Herrmann strings play over that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
And
she gets sued. Unless he got.
could that be any more on the fucking nose? Look, Billy Joel is not the most subtle songwriter to begin with. It's pretty much his songs are Piano Man, right? Like he
Yeah.
writes, here are these things that I see, or
Yeah.
these are observations, or scenes from an Italian restaurant. It's literally him writing scenes from an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of subtext to his songs,
Yeah.
but even for Billy Joel, this is just a little bit too much. I mean, could you be any more cliched than having that?
What if everything had a sound effect associated
Yes.
with it?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
yes.
incredible.
Yes. 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 I love this song now. Oh, let's go back and look. There should be a bomb explosion when he mentions H-bomb. There should be what is Liberace? What's
Oh, yeah,
Liberace's
yeah.
most favorite
Should be
song?
just a piano twinkle
Yeah.
or something. Glissando.
That was a very tasteful suggestion.
We could have we could have
JFK gunshots.
multiple shots.
Yeah.
A magic bullet for JFK.
That's so stupid.
You guys come up with this, by the way. If you guys have good sound effect suggestions for us for what should be
Yeah.
going on, the updated remix 2018 version.
I can see
of
Billy,
We Didn't Start the
Billy
Fire.
Joel goes and records the music, and then he hangs up, he grabs his jacket, says, "Okay, I'm done for the day. You guys add sound effects to everything I just made. I'll see you tomorrow. See you at the record release party."
Me and Jack Daniels got a serious appointment we got to
We
get
got to
to.
fight the Cola Wars. I'll be
right back. I'm still blown away that those are different females, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Now that's still
it's weird.
rocking my world.
It's weird.
Michael.
My last choice is this song feels like it's the end of his career, and
Oh, yeah.
he was 40 years old.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't really make any like new important music. I don't know. Did he just transition directly from this to like?
No, he had River of Dreams.
Okay, that is like the most Disney-fied. River of Dreams is a song that could have been on any of the. It could have been on The Lion King on that soundtrack. It could have been on The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think he even wrote a song or he
It
performed
does
a
seem
song
like
for.
Hakuna Matata or something like that.
Yeah, like he didn't do anything really important after that, and kind of just like no
Yeah.
offense, but like what else? There's nothing.
He said, I got no
This
other
this song
Yeah.
is the perfect reminder that all rock and roll people become rich, they become boring, and they become the man.
Yeah.
After this, like this was like he was like 38 or something when this song came out for 40, and like this is like to me it seems like one of his biggest songs, and it feels like the end of his career. And he recapped his entire life, put a pin on it, wrote a song about it, and was like, I'm out of here. I did this. I don't need to record anything else. Here's a song, like you said, a River of Dreams, that's just like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
This song wasn't punk rock, but it felt a little edgy at the time. Man, he's never get hit like.
I wonder, do you feel like when I go out to bars or parties and I'm lucky enough to be around younger people, I already feel like the old guy. And then even when I'm joking or talking, the stuff that comes out sounds like the old guy talking.
I'll tell you what this song is. This song, and you mentioned it, one of you guys mentioned it earlier, this is the Forrest Gump of songs.
Yeah.
It's all,
Looking backwards.
It's all this looking backwards, kind of baby boomer reminiscing stuff. And it's just like, man, I don't care about I don't care about the sequel to Forrest Gump's life.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump 2 never happened for a reason, because who cares about that?
Mm-hmm.
Like Billy Joel's, the second half of his career has been him on tour singing the first 40 years of his songs and River of Dreams.
Is there something wrong with that necessarily? Because I get pissed off at the artists when they change anyhow. Like I don't ever like anybody's new stuff.
That is an interesting topic that I've been thinking of.
What is?
Mount Rushmore of the worst songs that your favorite artist puts out, but it can't be from their new album.
It has to be from like an album you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
But there's a corollary to that, which is of course the great songs or good songs by artists you hate.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That would be a
good
good
two-parter. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry, but you were saying there's nothing wrong with
because I indict artists for not staying current and being retrospective and I think there's a big trend in so what's different from this song and American Pie, because it was a hit song and it looks back and says all this stuff was pretty great and it's all gone now. So, and I think there used to be a lot more tribute songs. Let's twist again, like we did last summer.
Yeah.
A lot of things that every country song is about nostalgia. The songs, they're always, forever.
Maybe we should stop singing songs about making America great again and how great America used to be.
Yeah, the words remember, the words never forget, they're all in these songs because it's people who are content to live in the past. But
one interesting thing that kind of ties this into it's the end of the world as we know it. I mean, the song is called We Didn't Start the Fire. It's this implication that the world is on fire, the world is exploding, all these horrible things are happening at the same time. Just like it's the end of the world as we know it kind of had this implication that there's earthquakes and snakes and the world's blowing up and all this crazy shit's happening. These two songs kind of go hand in hand. I think this is the lesser of the two songs by far, but they kind of share a same, almost not an ancestry, but there's something that they're holding hands at some point.
Yeah. I do think Michael Stipe was creating a pastiche of imagery, and Billy Joel wanted us to know that he personally went through all this stuff. I think that might be a difference. So I think we've mentioned all four?
Yep.
Each of us? Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, dudes. This was fun, and I don't really have any psychoanalysis to do other than, what is this weird stovepipe
expensive.
hat?
It's expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Every week.
Costs me so much money. I have to bill you through Cigna, then Cigna bounces back, says the billing was wrong coding.
Mm-hmm.
I love the discussion around the music video and the ghostly apparition, and then learning that he had multiple mother characters in this thing. And so then the discussion of the music video would also get a point. Let's actually make those separate. So ghostly apparition is one, music video is one. Then I do think it was really funny, the last line of the last verse and mentioning JFK Rock and Roll Cola Wars. So let's make that one for Richard.
Yeah.
And then I think this is very evocative, and it's survived into pop culture, or survived into social media. So the idea of We Didn't Start the Fire as repurposed into lists that you would find on social media. So is that 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a full 4.
Okay, bros. This has been fun. Thank you so much for listening, listeners. And this has been the Mount Rushmore podcast. As per usual, I'm Jeff.
I'm Richard.
Hi, Michael.
Turn up the